Doctors in Canada were shocked after pulling a 3-inch knife blade from the back of a 32-year-old man. The knife had been in there for 3 years. That guy had a knife in his back for 3 years, so he must have worked at NBC, too. I couldn't believe that.
Anyway, say it ain't so. Leno, Jay Leno, arguably the most successful juggernaut in late-night TV ever, could be about to get kicked to the curb yet again. Not because he isn't doing well, but because his bosses at NBC apparently feel they can do better. But didn't they used to feel the same about that guy? And now they're feeling the same about this guy? The former Lapin creator and an experienced hand at dealing with NBC management, in fact, all management. George Schlatter says, be very, very careful, guys. George, what do you make of all this?
I think it is shocking. I can't believe that NBC, who's number 4, would take the number 1 show off the air and hope to make it number 2. It's shocking. And I don't think he called them snakes. I think he ought to call them idiots.
Now, the argument was that it's all about the young demo, but I've looked at the numbers. He does well there as well. Is the argument that they can do better with Jimmy Fallon, or what's driving this?
Well, Leno has long been the major profit center for the network for like 20 years. So, I mean, it's all about money. I don't care whether you want a teenager or an old guy. It's all about money and viewers. Jay Leno has owned that time period ever since Johnny left. So getting rid of him, it doesn't make sense. But a lot of things they do don't make sense.
Yeah.
Jay Leno.
Go ahead.
Jay Leno is a nice man. He's been loyal to NBC for 20 years. He does every weekend. He's out either doing a charity thing or a benefit. Jay and I have done a thing called the Carousel of Hope Ball out here every year for 20 years. The woman, Barbara Davis, has built a hospital. Jay Leno put something back into the community, and he deserves to be treated better. What they've done to Jay, they moved him, they canceled him, they put him on late night, they put him on early evening. They've tried everything they could, and except beating him to death with a stick, and he keeps coming back. He's a lovely man.
So what do you think is going to happen?
I think they'll probably change their mind when they look at the numbers and say, wait a minute, Jimmy Fallon is a very talented young man. He's really just not, it's a pretty fast track when you're opposite Jay and when you're opposite Letterman. And now they're going to move the show to New York, which I'm not too sure is a good idea because of the availability of guest stars. And Jimmy is a nice man and may one day make it, but he just doesn't have Jay's appeal, Jay's magic.
So, George, let's say that the cooler heads prevail, maybe more thoughtful, kind heads prevail, and realize this is stupid. What are we doing? Let's not screw around with the franchise. Let's keep Leno in place. You can only do that to a guy a couple of times before the guy just says, this is not a place I want to work, right?
No, they've done it to him repeatedly.
Right,
they moved his time period. They put in Conan, and they put in this one, and then they just cut the budget. I mean, they keep doing it. Jay Leno loves his job, does it better than anybody other than maybe Johnny Carson. And now, see, they haven't even canceled him. His contract runs for another year. To me, I think this is all kind of like a trial balloon, you know? And they shouldn't be sucking on that balloon. Jay is a lovely man. Boy, has he ever delivered for that network for a long time. And he's funny. The thing, I mean, the conservatives think he's too liberal, the liberals think he's too conservative, and he's right there in the middle, and he's doing comedy. And it's tough to do conservative comedy, you know?
That's
I mean,
fine.
there's not a lot of conservative...
We're 4 minutes in, you finally had your hit, which is
I
good.
didn't say anything. I didn't say that the only conservative comics are Hannity and
That's fine.
Ann Coulter.
Enough.
I didn't say it.
I
didn't say it,
right.
Neil.
But let me ask you, you were the guy, the force behind one of the most avant-garde shows in TV history when Laugh-In debuted. And I'm sure you dealt with management types who winced at what they were seeing. How'd you deal with it?
Yes. Well, the third week on the air, we were canceled in Seattle. And NBC said, now look what you've done. We were canceled in Seattle. What are you going to do? I said, I just put a crew on a plane to go to Seattle to congratulate them on having the good taste to cancel us. When the station in Seattle heard this, they put us back on the air before I got on the plane. It's all done with a sense of humor. And those jobs, see, at heads of the network, don't last that long. And so they're always nervous. They were very nervous every week. We had censor notes. We had political notes. And you just kind of shine them on and smile and go do what Jay's doing. Jay is getting better and better. See, there's not enough news to go around. So this is a big, big story. And I think it's the best thing ever happened to Jay. He's having a good time.
Yeah, he does. He does seem to be having a very good time. George, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very, very much.
Nice to see. Do say hello to the little woman.
I will. And Sean Hannity hopes you go to hell. He didn't say.
I'll meet O'Reilly there.
He did not. All right, my new book is Killing Schlatter.
He's Catholic.
That should go well.
He's Catholic, so O'Reilly's Catholic, so he may not get in.
That's fine. Okay, let me blessedly finish this. That was George Schlatter making his final appearance here at Fox. Anyway,